Okay, so I'm putting my business out there. So the mother of my son is one of those jealous women, but I didn't know her that much. Just met her for a
Yes.
week, had my son, and tried to make things work, and it got to the point of lawyers and judges. I'm in the process of getting custody. I haven't seen my son since October. I've only seen my
Oh,
son
why?
8 days and 10 months. She won't
Sorry.
let me see him. I have lawyers and trying to get custody, and everything's in God's timing. I'm not mad at her. One thing I learned in life is karma is karma. It's not up for you to dish that karma back. She obviously has some mental issues and some instability and emotional problems that I can't solve or help her with. So, I'm just letting the judges.
Yeah, but you put your name in the baby, right? In your son.
Well,
Have your name
when
on?
I came here in January, because I lived in Fortaleza, she lives in Angra and I went to the Consulado Toro to put my name on the list, and I have my DNA. I am 99.99999% pi, percent father. So I went with those papers to the consulate to put my name on the birth certificate. She denied me being the father, so I have to get a judge's order to force my name on the birth certificate.
Oh boy.
It's one of those situations. Now, as you can see, my
Yes.
situation, I still didn't talk shit about Brazilian women. I didn't say anything bad about Brazilian women, even though I'm going through this. Because I have respect. Not everybody is the same.
Yeah, right.
Some people have really bad lives growing up, life experiences, and they don't grow past them.
She's not supposed to doing that with, the kids, because I don't think the kid, it's not involved, not no matter what, if you guys not together or something like that. He's have a father, I think she's needed to just working with that. Let him participate. You are the father, you also participate for his life. Not make this distance or try to separate and just...
You're talking about Brazilian women being jealous. So once I found out that I had my son, because I didn't know she was pregnant, she sent me some videos 9 months after I was dating her. And she said, hey, this is your son. I'm like, I saw that movie before. You're not going to scam me. So I just ignored her. All babies look alike. Hey, all babies look alike when they're first born, right? You can't tell anything.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, she sends me some more photos, and I'm like, this is my baby. Like, this is that's my face. It's me cloning. It's my clone. That's my face.
Yeah.
So we started talking. Trying to get a DNA test from Fortaleza and Angra dos Reis is really expensive. So I said,
yes.
hey, why don't you just move here, which is in my book. It's The Miracle. It's chapter 8888.
Yes, but sorry, who's want the DNA test? You or her?
Well, me, of course.
Okay.
She was dating other people at the time, so I wanted to make sure it's mine.
Yes.
Plus, I need the DNA test anyway to take to the embassy here in order for my son to get American citizenship. So I need a DNA test anyway. But it was too expensive, so I said, you know what? Why don't you just move to Fortaleza, move in with me. Now, I've only known her for a week at this point. Come move in with me and my son. We'll take a DNA test here. If it's not my son, so you stay here for a month. I get to practice being a dad.
Yeah.
You get a vacation, you get to come here, just if he wasn't my son. I'm not going to kick her out, right? If he is my son, it's perfect,
She did it?
Yeah,
She's going there?
I believe a child needs a mother and a father in the same house. If at all possible, it's the perfect. So I told her before she came, hey, I have a girlfriend, which I didn't have a girlfriend at the time, but I said that so she wouldn't have any expectations. I said, come here, we'll just be friends. And when she came, the first couple of days was awesome. I had a lot of gifts. I met him at the airport, some flowers. I had put some hearts on the bed with all these gifts and everything for my son.
Oh, he's romantic.
I am romantico. So I did all that, just to, it's my first child. So, and she doesn't really know me either. So I wanted to make, the energy and make them feel good. And the first couple of days was good. She was really happy, and then all of a sudden one day she's like crying and angry. So I'm like, all right, maybe postpartum, the hormones and everything else. So I'm just trying to mold the situation to be comfortable. And then I had a friend from the gym, and she had a cashew tree.
Cashew fruit, yes.
So she brought me a bag of cashew fruit. Now this woman, my friend, I've never dated, never had sex with, never kissed. I don't even have her phone number.
So you believe about the platonic relationship, like men and women can be friends with no second intention?
No.
No?
No. If they're both ugly, yes. If one is good looking and the other one, listen, let's be real. If the woman only wants to be friends with the man is gonna wait no matter what. No matter, it's gonna wait like a sitting dog for that one opportunity to have sex.
So that's me, this girl.
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, she's very pretty, but I wasn't even going in that direction. Like she's pretty, she's beautiful.
But you have maybe, if she's open one
of course
door.
Of course she's hot.
Yes.
But it wasn't even at that level yet. It was just a high and by, exercise, and I've only known it for like a couple months. So it was just high and by, shit, and just explaining I had a baby and stuff like that. So it was just like a friend, way before anything ever evolved. So she came over to my house with a bag full of fruit. She never even got off the motorcycle. She never got off. She just handed me the fruit. I took it in, said thank you, gave her a hug. She left. And the mother of my child went absolutely nuts.
Oh, boy.
Nuts. To the point she got so angry that she fainted in the street. She passed out in the street. She was that angry in her stress. The next day, I wake up and she's gone. My son is here, but she's gone. So my son is breastfeeding at the time. My son's crying. We don't have any formula. So I had to give my son to another woman who was breastfeeding to feed, to feed my son. All of a sudden, the mother of my son comes back with the police and says that I held her captive in the house and I held my son captive, but I wouldn't let them leave the house.
Wow.
Even though she's at church, even though there's photos of her at church, even though there's photos of her at the beach with my son on Instagram, she made up this lie and she took my son and left. That was such a painful experience because I had no DNA test, I had no right or say, and somebody took my son from me. I was very upset in the moment. I was crying, I was angry. I couldn't understand why she was doing this. And she moved into like another city with another woman she just met the day before. Finally got the DNA test, but she signs the DNA test with the wrong signature, so I would never get the results.
Oh, boy.
And in between time, she's trying to take the bus back to come to Rio de Janeiro.
You guys, you see, Brazilian women, they are very smart.
But American men are smarter.
Brazilian women, they are very smart.
Oh
my God.
And the bus ride from Fortaleza to back to Rio de Janeiro is like 4 to 5 days. So she signed the signature wrong, so I'd never get the DNA results. And she tried to take the bus. Now, during this, she tried to give the baby up and sell the baby for adoption.
What?
She didn't, when she was pregnant, 3 months before she had the baby, she didn't know who the father was. So she signed a contract to sell my baby. And thank God in the angels, when she was at the hospital and had the baby, her mother called the hospital and reported her that she was going to sell the baby. So the hospital got involved, the consulate got involved, and held the baby and wouldn't give her the baby because the woman who bought the baby was at the hospital with her, ready to take my baby. So Thank God this is a miracle because I would never know I have my son.
Yeah.
So it's not, that's one of the miracles in my book, that her mother actually saved my son. Once I found out that she tried to sell the baby, now she's trying to take the bus to come back. My mind is going crazy. I'm thinking, hey, she can give the baby away to somebody else. She doesn't want me to be the father. She can kill the baby, leave it somewhere in the middle of the road. Who would know?
Yes. I my God. In some situation like that, I think I get panic.
I called the woman who she was living with, and they brought her back. At this point, I'm here over a year, which means I overstayed my visa. She called the immigration police to get me deported. The immigration police come to my house to deport me. So now I can never see my son again. And here's another miracle. 1 hour before they came, I got the DNA results saying that I'm the father. So now they can't deport me because I have a son. So that DNA result that came an hour before the police came saved me. So now I can't be deported because I have a son here. You can't be deported if you have a son. I'm passing, I didn't see my son for 2 months at that point. And I'm passing, go to another city, and I see her with my son walking into the supermarket, into the mercado. So I told the guy to stop. I'm not gonna pass my son in the street without giving him a hug, right? I haven't seen him in 2 months. So I go into the supermarket and she saw me and she hurried up and tried walking faster. Retired police officer. So I started filming before I even approached her with my phone. I said, "Excuse me, can I hug my son?" No, it's my son. I said, I can't hug my son? No, my son. She wouldn't let me hug my son. The next day is when I got the DNA results. And I said, hey, I'm going to the police station. You're not letting me see my son. You're not letting me hug my son. Now you know I'm the father. Any legal situation in America or here, you got to get the police involved. You got to get, lawyers involved in order for the process to continue. I'm going to the police and make a report. You're not letting me see my son. Well, you can see your son now. Okay, so I told her, meet me at the police station. No, I don't have transportation. Meet me at the same supermarket you just saw me at. I said, okay. So I go to the supermarket and she comes on a motorcycle with my baby.
She's in a motor taxi, something like that? Okay.
And how dangerous is that? So my plan was, I'm gonna grab my baby, I'm gonna walk to the police station. She has to come with me since I have my baby. I'm gonna make a police report and both of them are there.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't go as planned. That didn't go as well as I thought. Once she gave me my son,
oh, boy.
I hugged my son, and I don't speak much Portuguese, but I said, "Hey, yo caminando para la policia." I'm going to the police station. I had my son, and I started walking. She starts hitting me and punching me in the middle of the street. Everybody from the supermarket comes out. There's a school coming out. She's screaming. I'm yelling, ajuda, ajuda. I'm holding my baby as she's punching me.
And you scream for ajuda.
I'm screaming for help. Ajuda, ajuda. I'm screaming. So it looks like a crazy situation. Police come with their guns out. I'm like, hey, it's my son, it's my son. So we all go to the police station. She lies and said that I tried to kidnap my son. So they put a protection order against me. So now I can't contact her. I can't go near her because I can't even see my son at this point either.
And that's stupid for police thinking for one side, I mean.
This is the other part that you have to learn as well is speak Portuguese, translate very well. I have utmost respect for the government here, for the police here. Not everybody's gonna be on your side as a tourist. So you always have to remember that as well. States is kind of is similar with the police too. They really don't take the side of an illegal alien or a tourist first. They kind of take the side of an American first. So once they gave me the protection order, now I can't contact her, which was a blessing because it saved me a lot of stress that I don't have to talk with her. So lawyers are involved and everything else. And she decides she's going to go and move to France. Now she wants to give me my son as custody. I said, perfect. I said, I'll type up a contract. What do you want involved? So she said that I can't take my son out of the country unless I get her permission. That I have to live in Rio de Janeiro, and that she can see him whenever she wants. I said, perfect. I show her the contract. What else do you want in this contract? Is it okay? She said, I don't want any other woman around my son. I said, what do you mean? I don't want any other woman. I want this in the contract. I don't want any other woman around my son. I said, so you want me to be single for the rest of my life? At first, I was a little upset. And then the next day I realized she's never going to be able to enforce that with a judge.
Right.
So I put that in the contract. No other woman will be around your son. So I put it in the contract. I said, what else do you want? That you go to hell. I'm like, oh. So I just realized at that point, there was no talking. I already bought my plane tickets. She only wanted to give me custody because she was moving to France. She was moving to the country of France with her aunt. But then she had a problem with her passport. She couldn't go. So now she changed her mind. But I already bought my plane tickets to come down here. I already planned to move down here. And that's when I went to the consulate to put my name on a birth certificate. Once I was down there, I texted her again. I said, hey, can I see my son? I'm in your city. I haven't seen my son. At that point, it was 3 months. Can I see my son for the weekend? I have to come back here anyway. Let me take my son for the weekend and I'll bring him back. She laughed at me and said no. It wasn't just no, you can't see your son. It was a laughing emoji. That was so disrespectful. People do things for spite and revenge to like get you, and if you're feeling pain, they're happy.
Yeah, she's playing so bad.
This isn't normal Brazilian women. Let me say that clearly. This is one case of a woman who is Brazilian, who has some serious emotional problems and traumas and some psychological disorder. I don't know what, that she needs help and she needs a therapist. This isn't all Brazilian women. This isn't even a majority or a small percentage. This is just a very unique case. The mother doesn't sign the name allowing you to be the father, then you have to get a judge's order, which is now what I'm doing. 3 days after I came here, she lied to the judge. She took the messages that I sent her mother, which were all nice messages, nothing disrespectful. I don't call her names. I don't say nothing bad. And she took those messages that I sent her mom and said to the judge that I sent it to her breaking the protection order, and she asked the judge to arrest me. The prosecution saw the text messages that she entered through her lawyer and ordered my arrest, and I never sent her messages.
Oh boy.
This never happened, so my lawyer wrote the judge, said, no, these are manipulated text messages. Here's the real text messages sent to the mother. So now she's involved in a criminal investigation for, it's called slanderous enunciate. When you lie and try to get somebody arrested, you have to face the responsibility for that. I would never, ever, 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 even though she tried to get me arrested twice and deported, I would never, ever, ever want her to be arrested. I don't believe in that, especially as the mother of my son. As much as I want to strangle her sometimes, I don't, I would never do anything negative to her. It's just
nice.
It's respect for my son. It's not respect for her, because I can go like that to her, but it's respect for my son as his mother. In Brazil, it is very hard for a woman to be arrested, first of all. You might be put on probation or a fine or something like that, but you have to go through the criminal investigation, because if she's doing that now, what's she going to do in the future? So the only reason I'm doing it is so I have proof that she did lie. So if she does say something, further in the future, I have evidence. The judge has all this evidence where I'm capable of taking care of my son. And I told her, because I know I'm going to get custody. Once I have custody of my son, eventually I'll move her up here. I'll pay for her apartment. I'll pay for her to be here, because it's my son. When I was growing up, my dad wasn't around. My mom kept me from my dad, and it's psychologically it's tough on a child. It's painful.
Yes.
So as much as I don't like her, I have to be respectful to her. I have to be cordial and have a connection with her for my son. But I don't like her as a person. I don't want to be her friend, but I have to.
But it's nice to you to not have this angry, upset, because you tell me the history. I already feel.
My family was raised on being spiteful and vengeful. You do something to me, I'm going to do it 3 times back to you. My mom was very spiteful. My dad was very spiteful. My brothers are very spiteful. And I learned to beat that, because I don't want my son to have that. Whatever qualities you have, your children are going to have.
Yes.
Plus, they're going to learn on their own. I don't want to give any bad qualities to my son. You know what's wrong with you. You know your faults. You know your flaws.
Yes.
It's the ego that says, no, I don't see it. I don't see it. You know your shit. You know your shit. I fix my shit. It's a very difficult situation. But I just finished my book on miracles. I have faith in God. I have faith in my angels. I'm patient. Everything's in God's timing. The great miracle part of this story as well is my son doesn't understand anything. My son doesn't even know I exist, right? Which is the sad part. But he doesn't understand anything that she says to him. She can't badmouth me and create this image of me to him, because he doesn't understand. As a mother, she's a very loving person. I've seen videos. They sent me some videos. She's very like, hey, like, mi amor, mi amor.
Uh-huh.
So she's very loving with him. Thank God. So that's what's keeping me sane as well, because, hey, if he was 6 years old, 7 years old, and she's doing this, and she's creating this image of me to him, and like ruining my relationship with him, it's difficult.
You talk to her about, it's not good what she's doing, because you come like strange for the baby.
In America, there's many fathers that are absent. In Brazil, it's worse. In Brazil, there's a lot more single mothers. There's a good percentage of men who ignore their child and doesn't have any part of their life with their child. I'm fighting for my child. So she knows as a mother the importance of a father being in their life. But she's doing it because basically she wants to marry me. She wants to be with me. And I said, no.
Oh.
Stay away. No. You're crazy. No.
Yeah.
Demones. Diablo.
Oh my.
Some holy water. Some men like crazy women. I don't like crazy women. I like gentle, loving, good-hearted, funny, fit women.
Yeah.
But calm and suave.
That's right. I hear about before some men, they like crazy women, Yes. So when you have when you have your son, you pretend to live here in Marica?
I'm always going to live in Marica. And the reason I'm living here is because I'm part of the ayahuasca farm.
Yeah, now need to keep your eyes open, fight for, get your son back.
It's a lesson of patience. If you think the courts in America are slow, welcome to Brazil.
Okay, I hope you guys learn with him, his experience. Keep your eyes open, careful.
Use condoms.
That's what I'm going to say.
But I have absolutely zero regrets. Zero. Coming here changed my life. I love Brazil. I love the culture. I love the people. I would not change anything that I've done. I'm very happy, and I thank God every day that I'm here. And if anybody has any questions, like detailed questions, you can always DM me. I'll be glad to help.
Yes, I'm going to follow him. I'm going to put all his information and subscribe in the channel. And also, I'm going to follow him back in Instagram. Okay.
Ouch!
Okay, thank you. Like, subscribe, leave comments, and follow me on Instagram.